had the odds against me. You know, I was Eddie's wife. Everyone thought that I was being handed, you know, the job because Eddie had passed away. You know, it's just a lot of things against me. We have all the equipment, but not enough time.
Oh, well, same here. Actually, we have none of the equipment and none of the time either, so, yeah.
But you have more followers.
Only for now. I am not Vickie Guerrero, though.
I don't know. It's, you know what, I'll leave it to the master.
Yeah, so we're filming for my YouTube channel right now, which you guys are watching, and also your YouTube channel as well.
Oh, that's great.
So we should let people know that Vickie Guerrero has a YouTube channel.
Yes.
I'll link it below. Sound good?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, yeah.
I scratch your back, you scratch mine.
This is perfect. This is how it works. This is actually our second interview together. Our first one, and our subscribers from way long ago will remember, it was an interview with you and Dolph Ziggler in Cleveland when you guys had a little thing going on there.
Yeah, just a little.
Yeah.
He never wanted to marry me, though, but I'll take what I can get.
That was a long time ago. A lot of things have obviously changed since then.
It's been like 8 years ago.
Yeah, I guess so.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun with Dolph.
Nothing's changed since then, right?
No. I mean, I got married in real life, but no one on the show wanted to marry me.
Who was a better TV kisser, Edge or Dolph Ziggler?
I have someone else that might beat them out.
Okay.
Yeah, John Cena.
This is true. Okay.
Yeah, if you want the truth.
Wow.
Yeah, here it is. That's the truth.
All right. So in these last 8 years, or since people have seen you last on TV, what have you been up to?
Gosh, I'm getting ready to graduate in August with my bachelor's in healthcare administration. I've just been accepted to an acting agency with Paige Parks. So we just submitted a voiceover audition today. And it's just been busy, now that I have a publicist, Kathy Cardenas. I'm getting ready to start a foundation with Harris County Humane Society.
Wow.
And I work with the Family Emergency Shelter at the Salvation Army in San Antonio, Texas.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm exhausted right now.
Look at that.
I'm tired.
Kathy is the publicist to the female wrestling stars.
She's awesome. I just joined her about 2 months ago, and it's been nonstop, and I'm very grateful for that.
She's awesome. She's the reason we interviewed
We
Mickie
got
James.
connected, yeah.
We got connected. I'm getting connected with Victoria, aka Lisa Marie.
Yes.
So this is, Kathy. Thank you, Kathy, for this.
Kathy, hi.
Yeah. So what was the idea to go back to school?
Well, there's always a plan B that you have to think of, being in the wrestling industry. It doesn't last forever. I was with WWE for about 10 years, even more, working with Eddie.
Yeah.
So, you think about what am I going to do after I finish wrestling, and school was the answer. So I started attending Herzing University, and it's been great ever since. So August is my big graduation date in New Orleans, so I'm excited.
Hey, well, congratulations.
Thank you. And I'm not doing my master's. I'm done.
The thing is, wrestling could last forever if you wanted. Like, we're here at WrestleMania weekend. You could do the cons for the rest of your life if you wanted.
I never knew this was after, wrestling. I didn't know about Comic Cons or, signings or just being a part of this, great experience of meeting the fans. So it does go on and on, so I'm excited.
So when you do these meet and greets, how many times a day do you think you say, excuse me?
When I charge for a personal message, about 20 to 30. So that's good money.
$20 to $30 per excuse me?
Per personal message. I do voicemails. I'll do personal messages to other friends that can't stand me. So fans have a good time with that. They'll be like, my mom hates you. Can you send her a message? I'm like, sure, it's going to cost you.
That's what you want to hear. My mom hates you.
Yeah, and I love it. I get excited to do those.
I think that if we look back over the last decade or so in the WWE, you had more heel heat than pretty much anyone else.
Thank you. It was a good time. I mean, I never knew it was going to be that successful, but by the grace of God, just year after year, it just got better and better, and I had a great time. I still have a great time.
And excuse me kind of happened by accident.
A big accident. I forgot my lines one night doing a promo, and they changed my promo about 3 or 4 times before going live within a 2-hour period, and Teddy Long was pushing me out in the wheelchair on SmackDown, and I was getting overwhelmed. I had like 4 promos in my head, and I didn't know where I was going with this. And Teddy Long looked at me and goes, "You're going to screw this up, aren't you?" And I was like, "Yeah, I think so, playa. I think so." And I went out there, and I went blank. I mean, I just had all these words, and verbiage that I just didn't even know where to start. And I forgot and went out there and just kind of looked like a deer in headlights. And the crowd caught on right away. You know, they'll stick you with like the evil eye if they know that, you know, you forgot something. And I forgot my promo, and I just kind of sat there and regrouped and yelled, "Excuse me." And I didn't know where that came from. And I did it again, and they got angrier. And I was just like, well, maybe I'm onto something. But I kind of forgot about it. And the next night, the writers were like, you know, let's try this again. I like the "excuse me." And I'm like, it's not going to work, guys. Like, it was just a fluke, you know. And pretty soon, by that month, I was saying it every time I went on stage, and it caught on. So I was like, "Excuse me, lady."
When you were coming up and watching Eddie come up in the industry, did you ever have any ambitions to be on camera?
No, not at all. I was comfortable being a mom, raising the girls while Eddie toured, and I was okay with that. You know, but I performed before in front of crowds. I was a dancer for a minor baseball league in El Paso, Texas, and a cheerleader. And I used to be in bands, so, you know, crowds didn't bother me. But this was quite a different experience. You're talking, you know, 200 in a football stadium to 80,000 people in a sold-out arena, so a little different. Yeah.
So whose idea was it within the WWE to bring you on camera?
Well, the first time was with Eddie's storyline against Rey Mysterio for the Dominic, you know, custody battle.
I remember.
And they brought all the families in, you know, the kids and Rey's wife, Angie, and it was history ever since. You know, I enjoyed it. Vince was really happy with the girls' performance, and I got to, you know, throw Eddie off a ladder, which was like, this is a good day in the office, because, you know, I mean, what kind of wife can, you know, have the legal, you know, battle to actually throw a husband off the ladder? And it worked really well, and so it was a success. So they liked it.
So if you became a character, how come Ray's wife didn't become a character?
Well, I think it was more towards me stopping Eddie from the custody, you know, because I think they're trying to keep Angie in the background because we didn't know who Angie slept with. You know, was it really Ray or Eddie that had, you know, that was Dominic's dad? So I think I had more of the control of, you know, being the wife that could stop it and know the secret, you know. So it was a fun storyline.
Did you think it would last for another maybe 10 years?
No. You know, when WWE called me after Eddie passed away, they asked if I would go and help, you know, Chris Benoit and Chris Jericho and Rey Mysterio. And I said, I'd be happy to, but let's just keep it to 2 months. You know, something small, short run, and I can go back to taking care of the girls. And 2 months ended up being a year, and then a year ended up being 5 years. And I'm still here going back and forth, so it's good.
So who looks after the girls while you're on the road for so long?
I went through many nannies. Some were good, some were bad. So I think I had more good than bad. So it was a good experience for them. And they were used to the schedule, you know, from Eddie being gone so long. So they kind of knew how it was going to work, you know, with me being on the road.
At any point did you go, this might be too soon after Eddie's passing to put me into the storylines?
Well, I had the odds against me. You know, I was Eddie's wife. Everyone thought that I was being handed, you know, the job because Eddie had passed away. You know, it was just a lot of things against me. So I had to earn my way to have the love for the fans and to find a character that was going to work with me. So when they found this character with Edge, it just started falling in place, and we had a good time with it.
Well, Eddie is so beloved that it was like instant heat for you.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it was hard because I think fans hated me because how could Eddie's wife, you know, go and, you know, work in the WWE after he passed away? But I did have a little bit of history working with him before, so we just wanted to try it and see if it worked, and I enjoyed it. I mean, I was hooked.
Was it easy for you to separate storyline from what was actually going on in your real life?
Sometimes, you know, I mean, when you have fans outside the arena that tell you horrible things, you know, that, you know, you don't deserve this, you know, I mean, you do have to have a thick skin. But I knew the reality from fiction, and so I knew that I had a job to do to be a character, and just watching Eddie through the years, I knew that, you know, he had a thick skin too. So I had some good, you know, mentors to follow, so it didn't bother me too much.
I think it's great seeing Eddie's legacy live on through Sasha. She's such a massive fan.
Yeah, she's incredible. I got to finally meet, you know, work with her and get to sit down and talk to her at the last year's Royal Rumble, the first ever for the women, and she's incredible and such a fantastic person, and we had a great time sitting down and talking.
So how much, since you got into WWE to now, has changed with what's going on in the women's division?
It's it's empowering, to know that the women have a chance to prove themselves in the ring, and to know that at WrestleMania they're going to headline, the main event. I'm proud of them, and it's well deserved. And it takes the women from the past, to the current roster that have made a place on the road, that they've been able to say, it's not just a man's industry, it's the women that can, make history as well.
Did you ever think we'd be sitting here talking about women main eventing WrestleMania?
Never. Well, because when I was in WWE, the women's matches would go from, hey, girls, you have 5 minutes, and then you go to Gorilla, hey, you're down to 1:20. And then with a commercial, they were out there maybe 40 seconds. So there was a lot of disappointment in the women whenever they wanted to, have their spotlight for the night.
What's the question when you talk to fans that they always want to ask you?
Am I really that mean in real life?
Well, are you?
No, only when I have to be. It's kind of uncomfortable when I go through the grocery store walking around and, people like kind of grab your arm and they want to start talking to you, and you kind of like forget. I forget, that I had a role on TV.
Yeah.
Because when I'm at home, I'm just being Vickie and just running my errands and, taking care of life. So when they want to come and talk to me, it is an honor. I try and take the time to, give them the time to tell me what they want to say.
With the storyline you did with Chris Benoit and how much time has passed now, do you think we'll ever see him inducted in the Hall of Fame?
I don't think so, because he's not even existing, with the WWE, as far as documentaries or his story. It's a sad situation. I loved Chris Benoit a lot. His family was our family. And his wife, Nancy, we were close friends. And their son, Daniel. And, it's just, we were all really close. And I wasn't there when it happened. I don't understand why it happened. But I still love him. He was, aside from all that, he loved us and he respected us.
I just feel like WWE is a place where there's often a lot of forgiveness. We've seen it with Shawn Michaels. We've seen it with Bret Hart. Obviously different situations, yes. But perhaps if enough time passes, maybe it will heal some of these wounds? I
would like to see that. Aside from everything, Chris Benoit was a talented, wrestler, and he had his own legacy. And I think that it shouldn't be ignored, and it's sad how things turned out. But I would like to see him, inducted into the Hall of Fame.
I think that people don't realize that your son-in-law is doing a lot of wrestling.
Yes.
People aren't aware of who he is.
Yeah, Aiden English married my daughter.
Yeah.
I think if Eddie was around, he'd be flipping over in his grave. But he's a great guy. I love him very much. He's good to Shaul, and he's a success story. He's a talented wrestler, and now he's commentating. Mm-hmm. So he has many talents that they can focus on, and I can't be more proud of him.
Did Eddie ever say to your daughters, "You are never marrying a wrestler"?
Yes, many times. Not even dating. I mean, they weren't even allowed to date. So Eddie was a strict dad, So I think if he was here today, I don't know how he would react, but I'm sure he'd want to make sure that they were taken care of well.
Well, what was your reaction when Aiden, and your daughter started dating?
Well, I kind of figured that things were getting serious as I got to know him a little more, and they move in together, and then he's starting to come on family trips. So I knew it was coming sooner or later. But he's a great guy, and they have a great home in Chicago, and I couldn't be more proud. And I'm just waiting for the grandkids.
I've actually talked to a lot of wrestlers who say Aiden English is so much more talented than what we get to see on TV. In fact, I interviewed Simon Gotch, who said Aiden English might be one of the most talented people on the roster.
Yeah, he's incredible, and he has so much discipline in keeping himself in shape, and his eating habits and his working out is just incredible. So I couldn't be more proud of him.
So what does the future hold for Vickie Guerrero?
The future is to hopefully see me in a motion picture.
Okay.
I would love to do a film one day, even possibly appear in a sitcom. Those are my dreams. It's on my bucket list. So that's something that I pray for every day.
Are you acting in English and Spanish?
I am going to be able to do some auditions in Spanish. I haven't had the opportunity, but I'm looking forward to it.
Amazing. Can we end with an excuse me?
Can I yell it here?
We can just, I don't know. We're in a kind of quiet place in the hotel here.
Yeah. Excuse me!
That'll work. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you so much for checking out my interview with Vickie Guerrero. Make sure to subscribe and click that bell notification so you don't miss out on more awesome interviews like this one. And speaking of awesome, this view behind me here is I mean, that's pretty awesome. I'm working right now, by the way. Don't tell my boss. I host a TV show. This is my day job. I host a TV show in Miami called Deco Drive. It's an entertainment show there. So I'm in wine country right now. I'm in Napa Valley for the new Netflix movie called Wine Country. So when you see this on your Netflix in a couple weeks, because it comes out on May 10th, you're going to be like, oh, that's the movie that Chris Van Vliet told me about. Yeah, I'm about to sit down with Amy Poehler, Tina Fey, Maya Rudolph, and the rest of the cast of that. So I had an awesome time talking with Vickie Guerrero. And for as big of a heel manager as she is on TV, and she is like probably one of the biggest heel managers of the last 10, 15 years. I mean, her and Paul Heyman. I mean, she says, "Excuse me," and the crowd just immediately meets her with just a chorus of boos. But as big of a heel as she is on TV, she is one of the nicest, sweetest people you would ever meet. Her and her husband, Chris, are just such great people. She talked about her YouTube channel. I'm going to put the link below in the description if you want to subscribe to Vickie's YouTube channel. It was just great hearing about her talk about the family legacy. Her thoughts on Chris Benoit are really interesting. And I mean, as great of a wrestler as Chris Benoit is, I understand why he's not in the Hall of Fame, but it's a bit of a disgrace that he's not in the Hall of Fame based on wrestling ability alone. I also love that the Guerrero family legacy lives on with her kids and, you know, her son-in-law, Aiden English. Just a great chat. I look forward to the time when I can chat with her again. She told me that she's going to be on Chris Jericho's cruise. The cruise happens to be going out of Miami. I live in work in Miami, so I think that it would make sense to go on Jericho's cruise. Are you going? Will I see you there? I'm going to link below to the first interview that I did with Vickie. It was Vickie and Dolph. I'll put that one right there. And you know what? We'll play a little Russian roulette on this next one. We'll have YouTube choose what video shows up here, whatever they suggest. You'll have to excuse me though. I'm in wine country, so I'm gonna drink some wine. I like red.